Hey guys, this is ThatAlbumReviewerGuy here, doing, guess what? If you said another album review, you're correct. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Rise Against album, The Black Market. Now, I've been listening to Rise Against for a while, and I first heard of them through WWE, pretty much, because WWE had some Rise Against songs, their pay-per-view theme songs, and there were a couple of Rise Against songs, or at least one. I don't really remember how many. I think it was just one, though. On the video game SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. And, you know, they're a pretty good band. They're like a punk rock, melodic, hardcore band. Like a modern punk band. And, you know, they've had some pretty good albums. Endgame, Sufferer and the Witness, Appeal to Reason, and you know, their albums usually have continuity with each other. They usually go from one to another, you know, pretty easily, if you get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is they kind of sound a bit similar, but they're just continuous, and it works. And, you know, their songs usually have messages, of course, like, their song off their last album, Endgame, Make It Stop September's Children, was referring to those suicides that one year in September. And, you know, they have some nice songs with messages. And this album is no different. This is Rise Against's 7th album, and it's also the band's highest charting album in the UK, as it peaked at number 13 on the UK Top 40, and it also peaked at number 3 in the US Billboard 200, so it's been doing pretty good. And, you know, the album, it does have a lot of emotion, like a Rise Against album normally would. Tim McElrath's vocals are incredible. I mean, he does put a lot of heart into them. The whole band puts a lot of heart and soul in their music. And like I said before, continuity, good for Rise Against, not just from album to album, but on each album. Continuity and flow are great, of course, but some stuff sounds a bit too similar. But, you know, if you've listened to Rise Against for a while, then I guess you could say get used to that, but, I guess sometimes you just can't get used to it due to the fact that you want something that sounds a bit different. But, you know, I also feel myself drifting off from time to time listening to the album, sometimes because certain spots on the album are a bit disengaging, but also because certain spots in the album are just so deep and so powerful that they just pull you right in. You know, sometimes it's a good thing to drift off in this album, sometimes it's a bad thing. I mean, it all depends. And, you know, there are a couple of inconsistencies in the album, more specifically within some tracks, because, like, it goes from one part just to another with, like, no really real transition. It just goes from, like, I don't know, one pattern of instrumentals to another one, like, immediately, and it feels a bit out of place. But that's not a huge issue, because it only happens once or twice. But, you know, this is pretty much what you would expect from Rise Against, in a good way, though. Because it's not a disappointment at all. I mean, Rise Against, like I said, they put some great emotion and heart and feelings into their songs, and they make good albums. You know, some songs in this album favorites, I Don't Want to Be Here Anymore, of course, which is the single that was released off the album. Very good song. The title track, The Black Market. A Beautiful Indifference, which has one guitar part that reminds me of Champagne by Cavo a little bit, just the way that the guitar sounds. And it's also, a part of it is a bit reminiscent of a song off of their album The Sufferer and the Witness called Drones. Another favorite off this album, Methadone, and another one, Bridges. And there's also one thing I just wanted to say about another song here, People Live Here. That is the only song on the album that has acoustic guitar, and it's a nice change of pace from, you know, all the electric guitar stuff. But I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. It's a good song, though. It's a good album, this whole album. You know, overall the album gets an 8 out of 10. What did you guys think of the album? What do you want to see me review next? Let me know down there. Like me on Facebook, link down there. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff and things. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. That Album Reviewer Guy signing off.